Oblivion Remastered. A beautiful, beautiful masterpiece that Bethesda decided to just shadow drop, which is shocking that they did something this good. They've been fumbling for years, fumbling the bag with the wait for Elder Scrolls 6, the launch of Fallout 76, re-releasing Skyrim 8 times, but here we are, starting out with a beautiful masterpiece, a banger.
I was born 87 years ago.
The Emperor telling his story of life, the tales, the gates of Oblivion, hell even, looking for a man that he saw in a dream. And that man that he saw in that dream would be a legend named Rickon. We start off with Rickon awakening in his cell, where he throws a few punches as he realizes that he is in prison, incarcerated for something he doesn't know. He then hears the voice of a dark elf, as you can see from across the cell. And this little piece of shit is shit talking. He's shit talking Rickon. Being racist, even some would say. And that's when he shows up. The Emperor.
What's this prisoner doing here?
The oldest dragonborn in this city. He looks me in my eyes as he rounds the corner here. Before Boris, or however you pronounce his name, I might have butchered that. Before Boris decides to make me turn and face the corner, my cheeks out, looking down at the ground. Here we can see Imperial Septim walk up to Rickon, staring into his soul. He sees a familiar man. You know those dreams where you see people on the streets and they all look average? Well, Rickon is average. He is that average man. And he saw Rickon's face in a dream. He then proceeds to tell Rickon that, Rickon has chosen to basically help save Cyrodiil from the gates of hell, and that he will find his own path out. But he cannot come along with him through the tunnels because Boris is given the stank eye and is quite upset by his presence because he thinks he's a convict. But who wouldn't at this state? Look at Rickon. You see what I'm talking about? Boris is watching me. He then finds himself encountering them once again, fighting the assassins that are trying to take Emperor's life. Rickon can't sit there and watch, so he gets up and he throws a right hook, missing, landing it right into Boris's face. It couldn't have been more perfect timing. You know, Rickon helps best he can. He boxes his ass off, and ultimately gets told by Boris to stand aside and to watch himself multiple times, as he is an angry piss pot who hates us. He was trying to aura farm. Along my path, I just, like, Rickon here just keeps walking up and finding these dudes. We just keep encountering each other. It's getting to the point where it's a little awkward. After encountering them again, I attempt to help fend off the assassin before Boris screams and threatens me once again and wants to kill me. As so does Glenroy, as he squares off face to face, man to man, staring into Rickon's soul, debating on if he should make the first move. He makes his first move only for Uriel Septim to intervene, defending Rickon's honor. For they don't understand he is the man of Uriel's dreams in a non-homosexual way. Now, as Uriel spits shit about the Nine and stars, Rickon has no care. He must decide what he is to be. Now, Emperor Uriel Septim just has a problem talking. He just talks too damn much. I mean, look at this shit. There's about probably 20 minutes of him just yapping in the intro of the game. Of course, Rickon tunes it all out, as do I, as I continue on this journey within the mind of little Rickon. Boris gives me a torch as he uses his healing ability, moving forward without doubt. Now part of the group and accepted, not only as a non-convict, but as a protector of Uriel Septim. Glenroy catches assassins as we move forward. Rickon begins to get jumped as they jump back. He fights forward, pressing the matters of death. We then figure out that the main door is blocked from the other side, supposedly. I don't know, I didn't try the door. Rickon, he just didn't think about it. He's kind of brainless. Anyways, they command Rickon to then guard the Emperor. What could go wrong? The assassin then attacks Rickon for no reason, after Rickon allows him to kill the Emperor, and Rickon shows him the business, as well as Boris jumping in out of nowhere to jump the shit out of this man. Boris then informs Rickon of the Amulet of Kings being powerful, and how the Emperor trusts him, and how he should go and give it to Joffrey, so that way it can be given to Martin. Rickon then makes his way through the sewers, undecidedly unsure, unaware of where he's going, before he actually stumbles his way out. Rickon decides that as soon as he gets out of the sewer, he looks around and is going to take a dive. Rickon then fumbles his way to Joffrey's place, the Wayne Prior, where he finds one of the priors inside and is like, you know, hey man, where's Joffrey? And then he tells him where Joffrey is. It's as simple as that shit. He says he's upstairs. He then goes upstairs and meets Joffrey. Now, Joffrey susses Rickon out, unsure as to how, you know, someone of his status, screw that fucking idiot, would have gotten the Amulet of Kings. So Rickon has to explain in simple idiot terms, King give amulet. And Joffrey just took that shit on face value. He could have been an assassin, and he just told him right where Martin was. So, I just thought I'd put that out there. But anyways, he tells him where to go, to travel to Kvatch, to get Martin, and send him to the Cloud Temple with all of the other blades. And must I say, Joffrey's hairline is quite beautiful. Rickon makes it to Kvatch, only to be jump scared by a wood elf who is warning him of the gates of hell, aka Oblivion, being summoned within Kvatch. Now, in Rickon's mind, this guy's full of shit, by the way. Fairy tales, monsters? That shit's not real. Nothing's real until you see it at face value. As Rickon makes it all the way up to Kvatch, the sky begins to turn red. It is raining down fire. Rickon is then approached by a man in sexy armor named Mattias, however you pronounce it. And he is warned that Kvatch has been taken pretty much, and now in all reality, he's too much of a pussy to get to the portal, so he ends up sending Rickon, the brainless fool, to what I guess he assumes is going to be his death. I guess just to test it out, because, I mean, why not? Rickon then goes through discovering that hell is real and scamps are a real thing, as well as other monsters and Daedra. He begins the slaughter when he discovers one of the knights that he was looking for is alive. Rickon then goes through these towers, as these towers are the only way to take down the Oblivion portal and stop the invasion of Kvatch, and fights for his life. These Daedra knights, these Daedric knights are going through and giving him business, absolute work, and that is when he finds the man of Gonald, or I'm just gonna say the last name, Gonald. Yeah, that's what I assume it is. And Gonald then tells him exactly what he needs to do by getting to the top of the tower and break the shit that keeps the Oblivion Gates open. He is then stopped by the Sigil Keeper. Rickon turns to see this red demon whispering, it's mine, or whatever the fuck he said. I don't know, dude. Anyways, he was mad. He was mad at Rickon. And Rickon is tested in battle here. Rickon then slaughters this red beastly man that looks like a rip-off Hellboy, stealing the key that he needs to get to the top of the towers within Oblivion. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't know why that guy didn't want to be freed. He's probably stuck there for all eternity, and that's on him. Rickon gets very consistently lost to these towers because they are confusing as fuck, and there's a lot of different ways you can go. But you know, Rickon kills several beings before getting to the center ball, which he has to explode to move forward and destroy the gates of Oblivion. It flashes, boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden, Rickon's back on top. He's back in on Nirn in Tamriel. He tries to aura farm as he stands there with no portal behind him now. He just did that. That was all him, and he is the monster that the Nine have created. Mattias is absolutely flabbergasted that such an average looking frail man such as Rickon was able to bring the gates of hell down when these pussies couldn't, nor could his men. So he asks him to help aid the invasion of Kvatch, taking their home back from the Daedra. Of course, Rickon obliges and then goes through slaughtering every scamp he can find in Little Daedric Night, because he just ore farms now. That's him. He is the John Wick of Cyrodiil. Rickon and the gang then go through slaughtering every scamp they can find, as you know, they go through the church, gathering more men to go through and slaughter more scamps in Daedra, you know, as they go along through the town, before eventually clearing everything. And then Mattias just strips for him. He's so impressed by Rickon's ability to fight that he just strips his clothes off and gives them to him, because he's done fighting and wants Rickon to absorb his nutrients, the sweat and blood and tears that he held within that armor. We then find Martin, who compliments Rickon on his pushback against the Daedra, and Rickon just drops the bomb on him that Martin is actually Uriel Septim's, only son. Flabbergasted, they decide to go back to the Wayne Prior, where they find out that is being ambushed by the assassins who want the Amulet of Kings. But Rickon is not having that, so he goes through slaughtering every one of them that he can to stop them. He finds Joffrey. Joffrey then tells him that the amulet is vulnerable within the house. They go to try to stop them, but it has already been stolen. Now, because they don't want, the assassins to learn of Martin's survival or even existence, they decide to take him back to the Cloud Temple, where he will be surrounded by blades as well as Rickon, and they will defend him with their life. They already call him Emperor as the bastard Martin arrives, and they speak to him with joy, especially Boris, that hateful fuck. They then have a speech addressing Martin as the new emperor and Dragonborn, who will defend them from the gates of hell. Rickon stands there cluelessly as he zones out during every conversation that is had that is irrelevant to his mind frame at the time. Joffrey offers Rickon a place in the blades. Rickon quickly obliges as he gets to have his cool katana. Joffrey sends him off to Boris, who is on an undercover mission, and he makes his way to the Imperial City. As he goes through the gates, he sees a group of weird blondes who are discussing hating monsters, when Rickon is noticed for his fame and glory for the Battle of Kvatch by an Imperial soldier himself. Rickon is weirded out by the situations of the blondes and the fanboy Imperial Guard, and decides to quickly get to Boris as soon as possible. He then finds Boris where Boris is sitting at a bar. Boris very subtly tells him to sit down, that man in the corner is watching him, stalking him, lurking. He says to watch this shit as he guides him into the basement and hits a clip on him as Rickon follows shortly behind. Rickon sees him draw his blade and quickly jumps into action, as he can't have his lord hateful fuck Boris get hurt in such a harsh way. We then learn that they are not only assassins, but they're a Daedric cult called the Mythic Dawn. They have multiple sets of books that have a guide to life within them. We learn of a scholar at the Arcane University who can break down these books and figure out the secret code within them. And Rickon is off again, making his way across the Imperial City to find this lovely lady, which is what you thought was going to happen when Rickon actually goes straight to the arena, because he craves blood and war. Fuck figuring out these people who killed the Emperor. Right now, he needs to figure out who he's going to be killing. And he goes straight up to the man who will give it to him. He finds this cranky man named Owen who shit talks him so badly that I would have just turned around and left, but Rickon blanklessly stares through him as he doesn't care. He just wants blood and war. No matter the harsh words that Owen says to him, he continues on and agrees to battle. Rickon then comes out beating the absolute shit out of this person, killing them, picking them up by their skull, waving it around, and then going back down to Owen. who is shocked he survived his first trial of combat within the Imperial Arena. He then pays Rickon, as Rickon is pleased with the payment and bloodshed that he was able to spread across the Imperial floor. Going and finding Tarmina, the arcane lady. She then turns out to be a lizard, which sounds kind of racist, but sorry, let me use the proper term. She's an Argonian woman. Rickon then sweet talks her into informing him about where, the Mythic Dawn books 3 and 4 are, and as he hunts them down, she will break down the coding of the first 2, which she does have access to because Rickon has them. Rickon then goes to this bookstore where he finds a man named Fintius, who he asks about these Mythic Dawn books. Fintius refuses to straight up give them to him, as he is saving them for a man Rickon has to wait for, to ambush to get them. Rickon waits patiently as a small wood elf man named Gwyneth comes in with a very annoying little bastard voice, as he's like very angry at the fact that Rickon even shows interest in these books. He then tells Rickon that these books are not for sale, and it's no debate, where Rickon then orafarms, telling him, these people are cultists who killed Uriel Septim. Would you want that blood on your hands? After he snaps out of this frenzy, he's like, damn, okay, here, you can have this, the 3rd book, and the 4th book is at a meeting that I was going to have with these people who I was interested in before I figured out I could be associated with a crime. He then gives up the book to Rickon and tells Rickon the information that he needs to know before he pussies off somewhere else to cry to himself. Rickon then finds Boris within the bar again, telling him the location that they need to go to do this. They make haste as soon as they find the place within the Imperial sewers. Boris knows this place well for whatever reason. Don't know what kind of weird shit he gets up to, but that's none of Rickon's business, as Rickon is as stagnant as shit water in Florida. Rickon attempts to sneak in, but the clap of his ass cheeks alerts the main man down there, where he then stands up angry at the fact that, Boris is not the only man there. Refusing to let Boris get hurt or die, he intervenes, killing some of these Mythic Dawn assassins, as well as the main one, as they jump the hell out of them. Boris is grateful for you helping save his life, as well as figure out the stuff within the books, and addresses his deep love for the sperm of Uriel Septim, aka Martin, and that his place is by his side and he must leave you to protect him. Rickon is displeased with this and immediately leaves to go back to see Tarmina, who informs him of some of the coding. Something will be revealed at noon at a old statue. I forgot what the place is called, but he must go there to see what it reveals at noon. Rickon then goes there, revealing it. Figures out that he needs to go to this cave. Rickon then nonchalantly turns around, going inside of this Mythic Dawn place, where the doorkeeper addresses him as the Wood Elf was there to do, join the Mythic Dawn, when Rickon simply breaks his stare to tell him, no, I'm here to kill the Mythic Dawn. He then goes to the doorkeeper, where the doorkeeper tells him where to go. He then goes in to find this Mythic Dawn man that addresses him as if he is ready to induct Rickon within the order, when Rickon tells him, no, I'm here to kill all of you. That's what you get for messing with the Emperor. Bitch. That was a quote from Rickon, 2025. Rickon then goes through here slaughtering every Mythic Dawn member he can, in a, I wouldn't say a rage, but a mindless state of being, which is what he is in a lot of the time. He's a simple-minded fool who keeps himself busy through basic tasks such as serving himself in battle. He then gets shocked as this statue breaks apart, revealing a Argonian man named Julius, who acts kind of strange and ends up deciding to free him. Julius then runs off bare-ass naked through this cave with no shame, as he dodges every Mythic Dawn member he can. Meanwhile, Rickon fights for his life as he kills every Mythic Dawn member he can and every Mythic Dawn member within his way. Now, if I'm being honest, Rickon does get lost quite a bit in these caves, as it's kind of a mindless circle when you're following Julius around when he's running back and forth, scared of these Mythic Dawn members, and then some of the Mythic Dawn members are also running away from you at the same time. You're not sure who's going to, bust your shit open, or who's retreating, or where Julius is going. Because, fuck, I don't think he remembers. He just stumbles his way out. I mean, he's a free man. He's living in a free world now, butt ass naked. No shame. Julius then thanks you for saving him as he runs off butt ass naked into the woods with no shame once again, not even picking up a mythic dawn robe to cover himself as he goes to live off of the wildlife and eat berries. You know, after completing that, Rickon stands there aura farming as his task here has been complete, and there is more to come of Rickon as we await the next part of his journey throughout Oblivion. I'm not gonna lie, this game's good as shit, and there will be more to do with Rickon. So if you want to see more blabbering dumbass content like this, you leave a like, you subscribe, you actually show support.